Today let's talk about improving ourselves. Let's talk about how we can change the habit of being ourselves. We build habits, we build lifestyles, we build our personality traits that become embedded in us through continuous reinforcement. So let's say, for example, you grow up with a messy room and your room is always messy. So in a way it's kind of comfortable. And now you have your cousins come over and your aunt and they clean your room and it's like, okay, this is really, really nice. The conscious brain is saying, oh, this is really, really nice. The subconscious brain, which is a much higher percentage of the brain, as well as our physical body. So our subconscious brain and our physical body are in this routine, this habit, this lifestyle of a messy room. So our conscious brain is like, oh yeah, this is cool. Clean room, it's nice and organized. The moment that slips up, our subconscious and our physical body come into play. And they start to say, we know what you like. So all of a sudden the room becomes messy again. You fall back into the habit of being yourself, that same routine. This example I'm speaking of is myself. I'm definitely a very cleansely person. As far as keeping things clean, I can be messy, kind of have things everywhere. And I've kind of always had my living space like that, as far as my own space, like my bedroom. So I've noticed that that tendency carries over with me to apartments that I live in today. And I'll have people, because I'm so grateful and so fortunate to have these people, and thank you, universe, for bringing these people into my life that gladly help me out and help me organize and help me clean, because hey, everybody could use a helping hand. And it never seems to fail. It always ends up being a mess. And yes, we could say, oh, that's lazy. You just don't keep it organized. I tried to go that route for a moment, and then I said, well, I'm not lazy. Far from it. So this book has, really opened my eyes to that aspect, that on the conscious brain, on the conscious level, that 10% to 20% of the brain is, oh yeah, this looks great. This looks incredible. But then you got the other 80 to 90%, the subconscious and the physical body, and they're saying, oh, no. We know how you like to live. So we're going to, without you even realizing it, make it back to more you, to more your style. Then it happens and you feel comfortable. You don't feel out of the ordinary like you do in this organized and clean room. I'm speaking again for myself. I'm in a clean, organized room and I'm like, okay, it's cool. It's different though. Definitely different, but I love it. It's really nice. It's a nice time because it's nice and organized, it's nice and clean. But it's the moment that I'm not having that conscious thought, I'm now in my subconscious, my physical body's going back into the habit of being myself. So that's what this book talks about, is how we can change habits, how we can change lifestyle traits, how we can change personality traits that we embed into us just through constant repetition of doing whatever we're doing. It just takes continuous repetition of the conscious brain winning the battle of, no, we're going to keep it this way, we're going to keep it organized, we're going to keep it neat. Boom, we're winning the battle. We all have those moments of wanting to do better, wanting to be better, whatever it may be. We want to put a new routine into our day. We want to change our diet. We want to stop doing something. We want to read more. Whatever the circumstance may be, when we go into these unknown realms, right, essentially, that our subconscious and our physical body aren't really familiar with. Our conscious brain's having a wee-hoo, like, oh yeah, let's do better, right? Let's do better, But that's such a small percentage of the brain. So when that is not fully active and that subconscious comes alive and the physical body comes alive, it's, that continuous, we fall back into whatever we're comfortable in, whatever it may be, whether we're trying to stop doing something, we're trying to begin doing something. Whenever we kind of go outside of our routine, outside of our normal habit, we feel uncomfortable in a way, right? Even if we're trying to better ourselves, we still feel that moment of uncomfort because our physical body and our subconscious is so embedded and ingrained in this way, in this habit of being ourselves. So whenever we find something that we want to better ourselves at, or we want to grow, we don't have to necessarily call it change. Although growth is change, it's evolution, it's evolving. To do that, we must practice. We have to overcome by making the conscious decision over and over and over and over again. We have to beat the subconscious and the physical body in that battle of our habit that we've been so used to break the habit of being ourselves. And to do that, it just takes repetition. And it happens, because anything can happen. We can grow and evolve any which way we want. This is written by Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, incredible book. Even with stress, for example, we get addicted to the stress. It's very addictive because it's like drinking a triple espresso. We get turned on for a few moments. So we become addicted to that feeling, that rush. We just continue to do our daily routines that make us feel human, that we connect to in our physical body. Give me some good points. So we have to grow our personalities to inhibit a new reality. To change our personal reality, we have to change our personality. We have to change our thought process, because every day we wake up, we have the same thoughts, we do the same actions, we stay in the same routine, and that's just what it is, right? Until something comes along and now we do something different. We have a different thought, and that's where change occurs. Feelings get built because the brain feels it, then the body feels it, and then it goes back to the brain, then it comes back to the body, and it goes back to the brain, and it's just this circuit. And it's not until we change that thought, like we were saying, with a messy bedroom, say, you know what? I want a neat bedroom. You know what? I have a neat bedroom. And the body's like, no, you don't do neat bedrooms. And the mind's like, nah, you know what? I'm doing a neat bedroom. The body's like, no. The mind, the conscious mind, no, I am doing a neat bedroom. And it's just that continuous battle. And then, sooner or later, the conscious mind wins the battle. And we've now embedded into our body, we do a neat room. To the point where now it's a habit of cleaning up and keeping the room neat because we're comfortable that way, as opposed to the messier situation. I don't know if any of you can relate with certain things that may seem lesser than, for example, a messy room compared to a organized room. Of course, the organized room probably sounds like the better room, right? But a lot of us, we get comfortable with that lesser option because we get comfortable. It becomes a habit. It becomes a routine. It just becomes a part of our physical body, of our physical world, and we do it to just feel human. It's really just, takes that conscious thought, takes that conscious effort. This process is whereby you quite simply begin to lose your mind. You lose that mind and you change and bring in whatever it is you want. This is another quote from his book. So anytime you've seen me reading that, I was reading a quote from this book. So as you develop the skill of becoming familiar with all aspects of your old self, you will ultimately become more conscious. I'm going to say that one more time. So as you develop the skill of becoming familiar with all aspects of your old self, you will ultimately become more conscious. If you grow to be more conscious, you will notice more. If you notice more, you have a greater ability to observe self and others, both inner and outer elements of your reality. Ultimately, the more you observe, the more you awaken from the state of unconscious mind into conscious awareness. So a lot of the habits or daily routines that we do are subconscious. A lot of the times we're not even consciously thinking about it. Kind of just is a routine. It's just a habit. And we want to build amazing routines into our life. We want to build routines into our lives that are going to continue to evolve us, continue to grow us. That is one special thing about us, is that we continuously evolve. And it all begins right here, because your mind guides your life. Your mind guides your life. So we get to choose our thoughts. Let's always remember that. We have that power. We have the power to change. We have the power to choose our thoughts. And I'll leave you with that.